Welcome back to the Olympic Sports Centre Gymnasium here in Changzhou, in southern Jiangsu province. Finals day at the Victor China Open. Well, our next final is women's singles, and it is the reigning Olympic champion and defending champion here, Carolina Marin, the left-hander, back from serious knee injury. And it's quite remarkable, in my opinion, that she's even reached the final. She's up against the hugely entertaining TAI Tzu Ying of Chinese Taipei. Well, when we look at the race to Guangzhou, the first thing we notice is that there's 3 players from Thailand on the top 10. And I can tell you that after this week in Changzhou, Chen Yufei, who lost in the semi-final yesterday, will go up to number 1, replacing Ratchanok Intanon, who lost in the quarter-final stage. TAI Tzu Ying is currently number 6, as you can see. Now she's in the final. If she wins today, she'll go up 2 places to number 4. And if she's beaten in the final, only 1 place to number 5. Carolina Marin, the fact that she's only completed 3 World Tour tournaments this year is way down on the list at the moment and well outside the top 10. And even if she wins, we'll get nowhere near that list after this tournament. Well, also, when we look at the women's singles draw, it also jumps out at me that there's 3 Thailand players in the quarter-final stage. 5 different nationalities, because there was 2 Chinese players as well, 4 seeds, 2 in each half of the draw. In the top half, in the semi-final stage, it was the battle of the left-handers, both players unseeded. And in the bottom half of the draw, Chen Yufei, last year's finalist, beaten by TAI Tzu Ying. But interesting that it was only this event, women's singles and the men's singles, where both last year's finalists reached the semi-final stage of this year's tournament. So, players waiting in the wings, the fans anticipating. What a comeback by Carolina Marin. Nothing short of phenomenal, in my opinion. Yes, she played last week and she lost first round last week when she played in Vietnam at the Super 100 event. But to come here as defending champion and come through to the final after career-threatening injury is superb. TAI Tzu Ying smiling as always. The 25-year-old from Taipei going for a career Grand Slam of Super 1000 events, because last year she won both the All England and the Indonesian Open. But at this tournament a year ago, she lost in the very first round to Gao Fangji, who's also struggling back from very serious injury. Now this, as you can see, is the 12th meeting between these 2 players, and TAI Tzu Ying has not only won 7, she's won the last 6 encounters. The last time they met was the quarter-final of the Hong Kong Open. As you saw, it was 3 games, 21-14 in the deciding game, so that was obviously before Marin's injury. It was 3 minutes shy of the hour mark in Hong Kong. This is actually the 3rd meeting in a final, and both previous meetings in a final, which were both in 2017, Malaysia and Singapore, TAI Tzu Ying won both those final encounters. As I was telling you, she's 25 years of age, born in Kaohsiung, currently number 4 in the world ranking, but did spend a total of 137 weeks as world number 1, and that's a record under the new ranking system, because she was totally dominant for the past 2 years. And as you can see on her path through to today's final, well, beat the left-handed Ohori in the second round, Busanan Ongbang-Rangpan, who put out the number 8 seed, Sainan Awol in the first round, and in the semi-final beat last year's finalist Chen Yufei. Disastrous opening game, lost it to 6, and came from 8-14 and 11-16 down in the 3rd game. Saved a match point at 19-20, before winning through in an extraordinary semi-final. I'll ask Morten more about that a little later because he was calling that one. Carolina Marin, 26 years of age, also a former world #1, 66 weeks in total. Went up a couple of places on the world ranking this week to 24, but only 7 tournaments towards that world ranking. She has had a tough route through to today's final. The former world champion and recent silver medalist at the World Championships, Nozomi Okuhara, a repeat of the semi-final from this tournament a year ago. That was the first round. Zhang Beiwen, second round. Quarter-final, the #7 seed, Hebing Xiao, a left-hander. Then the semi-final, Sayaka Takahashi, another left-hander. And that she had to battle through because despite being 16-12 up in the first game, she lost to Takahashi that first game, 2022. Then was 6-10 down in the second, and then promptly won 15 of the next 18 points to win it 21-13. That was extraordinary. And then 21-18 deciding game. So both of these players having remarkable comebacks yesterday in their semi-finals. So Klaus Schlieben of Austria is our umpire for this one, and Satyawan Mahadou from Mauritius. The service judges, we look at both coaching benches. For Carolina Marin, Ernesto Garcia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, TAI Tzu Ying, Chinese Taipei. On my left, Carolina Marin, Spain. Carolina Marin to serve. Level. Play.
So the defending champion, the reigning Olympic champion, the left-handed Carolina Marin, getting this final underway against TAI Tzu Ying. Missed it. Well, Morten, I do need to ask you about Marin's semi-final yesterday when she came back from a game 6-10 down. I mean, that is quite remarkable, and given the severity of a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament that was sustained in the final of the Indonesian Masters at the beginning of the year, I think this comeback is just utterly astonishing.
I can't find words for it. I think you're using, the words you're using is just the best, but I want to say that every person heals differently. I've never come across anyone who's had an injury like what Carolina Marin had in January this year and do as well as what she's doing now. I've never seen it, but as I say, players, people, they heal differently, and this must be a fantastic case.
Yeah. But did you see the little video footage of her within the first week of the injury?
I saw that.
Sitting on
a chair.
On a chair, still practicing shots with her leg in. What I don't think it was plaster, but
kind of a cast.
Kind of a immovable sort of device.
Yes. Yeah, but of course the will to come back from Carolina Marin has been enormous. There's no doubt she's got a very good group of people around her.
Absolutely.
And advisors and so on. So it's a very strong setup.
Yeah. But my goodness, haven't we missed her? Isn't it good to see her back?
It's fantastic to have her back.
That's gone wide.
And I think it's also because of all the things that we talked about here, it is a surprise that she's in the final here today.
Yeah.
You know, I know she's won the World Championship on a numerous occasions, the Olympic gold and so on, but seen from the perspective of the fact that she had that serious injury in January, it is a surprise that she is here today.
Yeah. Carolina Marin.
Carolina Marin challenges
Oh, it was called out. She was celebrating. I thought the umpire was going to have a word and say, don't celebrate verbally.
I thought so too.
Until the line judge has made a call. And it was indeed out. What a great call by the line judge.
But a very, very unusual situation that the umpire is asking the player, oh, do you want to challenge this one?
It is, but I think it's good umpiring because he saw that she had turned away believing that it was in. She didn't realise it had been called out.
4-0.
Now, Morton, I asked you yesterday evening which end of the court Carolina Marin had finished on. And our friend and colleague, Steen,
Yeah, he came back to you.
he has told me a fascinating stat,
Okay, that's good.
which is, I'll wait till this rally's over. Lovely shot. All quarter-finalists, all semi-finals in the women's singles discipline, the player that started the near side of the court, as we're looking down, won the match.
That's impressive.
What a great stat from Steen Peterson.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to have you back.
Thank you, Steen. What would we do without you?
So if that's anything to go by, TAI Tzu Ying should win.
And considering she's won the last 6 meetings.
And she is standing on the near
This
side of the court.
Yep. I don't want to put a dampener on it for Carolina Marin fans.
No, it's going to be a really good match. What I'm interested to see is that Marin has proved that she's back, but I'm still interested to see whether she's got the strength in her legs to cope with the deception of TAI Tzu Ying.
Yes, good point. Good point.
That is really very interesting to me.
Yeah.
A lot of the other players she has played is more straightforward. She can anticipate better, but TAI Tzu Ying, you cannot anticipate. You've got to be able to have the strength in your legs to cope with changing directions.
Yes. Because as we've talked earlier on in the weekend, on many occasions, she is one of the most deceptive players.
5.
If not the most deceptive player in the women's singles discipline. Wow. Fortune favours the brave.
Yeah, but that's a very tight shot there by TAI Tzu Ying. Enable her to stay focused at the net.
Let's go wide.
Well, I've also noticed that the matches she has played, Carolina Marin, here in the China Open, she's not been as strong in the first game as she's been in the second or even in the third. It's kind of building it up, getting better and better as the game progresses.
Nine, 6.
Now what's happening here? Yeah, somebody using a flashlight. This just distracting the players. Oh, that's gone wrong.
10, 6.
Oh, it's brilliant from TAI Tzu Ying. Oh, it's landed in. What remarkable retrieving from Carolina Marin.
7, 10.
Look at that defence off the body, onto the line. Poor shot from the back of the court from TAI Tzu Ying. Got punished, so it should have done. So to the mid-game interval, TAI Tzu Ying with a 3-point advantage.
Well, there was a good indication there that the strength of the legs of MARIN is almost up to where it used to be.
Yeah.
Because there was one incident where she actually got across where I possibly did not expect her to do it. And she did well. Coming back to my point in regards to Carolina Marin, the 2 times she's played 3 games in this tournament, she's lost the first game on both occasions.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Players on court.
There's a match against Zhang Beiwen. She won 21-17, 21-12. So again, the second set, the second game was better than the first.
Yeah.
11-8.
So she's kind of working her way into the matches, as it seems in this tournament.
Yeah. (11-8) as play resumes.
There's that.
Yeah. So a quick fun fact of the day for you, Morten.
Ooh, I'm in trouble.
No unseeded women's singles player has ever won a World Tour title of 500 or above. So if MARIN was to win,
yeah, she will make history on that.
She will make history on that.
Yeah.
13-8.
Super 300 events is often tournaments where players, youngsters can come through, and we've even had qualifiers win at 300 level, but 500 above, which was equivalent to the Super Series before.
Yes.
Never had an unseeded women's singles champion since the inception of the World Tour. I know it's only the opening game, and I appreciate your point, and I agree with you that Carolina Marin seems to have been getting better as the matches go on throughout this tournament. But I'm struggling to see at the moment where she's going to be winning her points against TAI Tzu Ying. What's she going to be hurting TAI Tzu Ying with?
Pace.
Pace.
Pace. We've seen Carolina Marin opting to play faster as she gets, let's say, more under pressure. She starts playing faster and faster. And one of the things that really has impressed me here in this tournament is the level of pace that she's able to play.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not challenging because she knows that did land in. That's a misjudgment. She'll be annoyed with herself for leaving that. Oh, yes.
It's interesting to hear Carolina Marin. She's saying "vamos, vamos." It means, you know, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Forward.
Lucky netball for TAI Tzu Ying.
17-10. Service over. 11-17.
Missed golden opportunity.
Yeah, so concerned about the deception that she's, I think, failing to concentrate a little bit in the situation here. Good play here by TAI Tzu Ying. She's keeping a very steady ship, not making a lot of mistakes. It's not like what we saw in the opening game yesterday against Chen Yufei. She had a disastrous first game where she lost it to 21-6 or 7.
6.
Yeah. 18-13.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I watched it, and she didn't put a foot right in that opening game. Everything she did was just going out the sidelines. Whatever she was doing, it was just going wrong.
So the error on the block there from MARIN means that this lady, TAI Tzu Ying, has game point opportunities. Opening game to TAI Tzu Ying, 21-14.
First game won
In
by
16 minutes of play.
21-14.
So confirmation of that scoreline, 16 minutes. Do you understand any Spanish? No.
No, I don't.
Carolina Marriage is sending shockwaves through the women's singles discipline. Come back so strongly in basically her first major tournament since injury. Only fourth tournament of the year, third line.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is incredible.
Chen. Oh, they've both got backpacks. The one with the blue top on, or a white top. Main coach.
seconds. 20 seconds.
Stand up. Now everybody clap your hands.
Well, she looked very confident and very comfortable in that opening game, did TAI Tzu Ying.
Second game.
Major contrast to the first game of yesterday. But it will be very interesting to see now whether Carolina Marin has got an extra gear, whether she can really add on the pace here.
Yeah.
It's out.
It's interesting, Morton. The longest rally of that opening game was 16 shots,
Yeah, which is nothing.
And I mean, we know that TAI Tzu Ying is very deceptive, and a lot of the time it's hit or miss, but most of the time it's hit. Yeah. And that's why she's been former world #1. But, you know, I wonder whether Marin should actually try extending the rallies a bit more, whether that's a tactic or maybe that's something she wants to try and avoid. Does she also want to keep going for shots, just like TAI Tzu Ying does?
I think Marin will be more comfortable with longer rallies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also see that Marin is not doing any sort of time wasting when it comes between rallies and all that. There's no doubt that the fitness is way up there. What a nice hold and flick there from TAI Tzu Ying into the forehand corner of Marin.
That is terrific. And that's the problem for opponents that do want to try and extend the rally, because if you keep the shuttle going to the back of the court, TAI Tzu Ying has got so many options with her deception at the back, and she can hit a winning smash like that. In a way, you put yourself into trouble. So how do you extend the rallies?
Yeah, that's true. It's not easy. But there is a reason why TAI Tzu Ying was #1 on the world ranking for, what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
So there's a reason for that.
1-4.
That's kept in. That's good play. Oh. The first one from TAI Tzu Ying down the line there with the backhand was really nice. Second one she missed.
Well, that's the longest rally so far.
I think another thing which is very important for Carolina Marin is to not apply too much pressure on the around the head situation on TAI Tzu Ying, where she's by far strongest. If she wants to play towards the back line, she must try to target the forehand side a bit more.
Carolina Marin challenges called in.
It's the first challenge of this second game. Here we go. Indeed it was.
1 element remaining. 6-2. Play.
Oh yes, good change of pace from Marin.
She was almost losing control of the rally when she was going cross-court here on that smash, because as you saw, it was only almost to the center. It did not go all the way cross-court as she wanted. A good follow-up and a nice block shot there at the net.
Oh, it's a good rally. Brilliant. That was a fabulous net exchange. Isn't that remarkable?
It is really good. Very, very good at the net. But this is what MARIN, she's very good at these cross courts at the net. She's always been. And that's part of the pace and pressure that she plays in her game. And this time it worked out really well.
4-7.
But she have to keep producing rallies like this to beat TAI Tzu Ying. And that's a tall ask.
Good net shot. That's gone wrong.
Sales de la primera a la siguiente, no siempre tiene por qué ser arriba, puedes tirar dos veces abajo, ¿vale? Está bien arriba, pero no siempre.
Well, I was going to say a lucky net cord, but she hits too many net cords for it just to be luck.
Yeah. The more I practice, the luckier I get.
Gary Play.
Yes. Famous words.
I think TAI Tzu Ying's been listening to your commentary, Morten, because you were talking yesterday, I think it was, about if you're going to play to the back, sometimes play her down the forehand side because not much happens. Yep. I think she's making extra effort today to take it early in the deep forehand side.
She is. Yesterday she was, inverted commas, maybe a little bit more lazy, if you can say it, put it that way.
Oh, behind the back! Oh, that was pure instinctive. That was from TAI Tzu Ying. Didn't win the point, but that was remarkable. Look at that. And casual with it too.
And this is part of the DNA of Carolina Marin's game, that backhand here, this one here, she plays it so often, but she plays it really well.
But that was the shot she was practicing when she was sitting on a chair, when she, first week after the operation, she was practicing that shot. Do you remember that?
Yes.
What was that one?
It's part of her DNA. That's out.
Esa plana no fue de cuerda. Dale al medio.
10, 7.
Missed it.
Service over.
There's no doubt that MARIN is working her way into this match.
Yeah.
10.
Well, she was a game and 6-10 down yesterday. She was a game and 7-10 down here today. But it is TAI Tzu Ying who goes to the mid-game interval. Exactly the same scoreline and advantage as she had in the opening game. 3-point advantage.
观众朋友们，现在您可以掏出手机，打开微信，扫描屏幕上方二维码。
So as we don't understand what's been said there, it's just nice to point out that we just had a mixed doubles final where we've seen one pair create history, winning all 3 Super 1000 events in a calendar year. Whoever wins this women's singles final, we're guaranteed 3 different players winning the 3 women's singles titles of the Super 1000. Because Chen Fei, All England, and Akane Yamaguchi.
She took the Indonesian, yes.
Exactly. So that's rather fun, isn't it?
Good for women's singles.
Yeah. But doesn't that emphasise how good the women's singles discipline is at the moment?
It's very, very competitive.
Yeah.
11-8. Play.
Oh, lovely backhand.
It's good to see that TAI Tzu Ying is so proactive, so aggressive in her thinking. She is really aggressive. She's attacking. She's playing a lot of smashes and not only relying on her deception.
Yeah. Well, I think you can safely say Carolina Marin read that. It was a little bit loose too, wasn't it? Yes, far too loose. I've been generous to start with.
10, 12.
It's a very purposeful walk,
You
Caroline.
can't fault her for time wasting, that's for sure.
Brilliant backhand. Yeah. Ernesto Garcia liked that one.
12.
Now just 1 point in it.
It's interesting, this rally as well. MARIN is denying TAI Tzu Ying any time. She is really putting on the pressure in terms of pace.
5 of the last 7 points to draw back level. Super. Did you see the reaction as well from TAI Tzu Ying?
You don't see that often.
You don't see that. There was a little verbal celebration and a clenched fist as well. Let's hope we see it. Well, that I can tell you is quite a celebration for TAI Tzu Ying. Very modest for most players.
Yes. We're all different.
Great shot.
Service over.
You can see the winners are coming more frequently now from Carolina Marin, and it's due to pace. And TAI Tzu Ying really have to dig deep now.
Yeah, the umpire not happy that Carolina Marin, after hitting the shuttle into the net, instead of moving to the net to hand the shuttle back to her opponent, walked to the back of the court to talk to her coach. Good defence. Missed it. And a little bit of frustration I felt there from TAI Tzu Ying, that Marin was getting back what TAI Tzu Ying probably thought should have been winning shots.
But that's what happened yesterday as well, that Chen Yufei was able, with a very good solid defence, good anticipation, to frustrate TAI Tzu Ying. Out.
So for the first time in this second game, Carolina Marin goes into the lead. But not for long.
That smash down the line has been very effective from TAI Tzu Ying. Scored her a lot of points on attacking that defence on the backhand side of Carolina Marin. It's been very successful.
Oh, brilliant! My goodness me! Didn't panic. Carolina Marin.
16-15.
That is fabulous.
That feels so annoying if you're in the shoes of TAI Tzu Ying.
Absolutely. And that 1 point might just change the momentum of this, you know.
17-15.
A very famous broadcaster and a very, very good friend of mine is saying it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Thank you, Maureen. Good rally. Oh, good backhand clear. Terrific, and the longer rally is definitely suiting Carolina Marin. 38 shots.
15.
Oh, that is perfection from TAI Tzu Ying.
And it had to be. Trying to look at the follow-up there by Marin.
16-18.
We're treated to some fantastic women's singles here.
Yeah.
Good quality.
Certainly are. Running to the net to pass the shuttle back, Carolina Marin.
17-18.
1 point in it. Good flick serve. Drop long. A 2-point advantage and 2 points away from taking this second game. Game point opportunities, 3 of them,
Game point,
to force a
17.
third and deciding game. One game all.
That's a purposeful walk.
Second game,
if you ever saw one.
Yeah.
21-17.
Look at
One
that.
game all.
Yeah, right, let's get on with business. Amazing. 21-17, 1 game apiece. 40 minutes into the match.
Claro, ya lo tenemos todo. Estamos al 80-90 ya.
Vale, ahora tenemos que bajar un poquito más adelante porque
Eso
va a
es.
pedir.
Sobre todo bajo presión y tal. Cuando está mucho bajo presión, ella se adelanta un poco. Entonces, si quieres hacer algún clear, pero cruzado y bien alto. Y luego, para que si se queda
Si no
tenso,
batido, ¿no? Mejor.
eso es batido, cruzado y tal. ¿Vale? Pero bueno,
20 seconds.
vamos a ver lo que cambia ella.
20
Esto no le ha funcionado.
seconds.
Primeras partes del compás.
Ella me va a mover más igual, me hace más pinta.
Por eso, primeras partes del compases, cabeza
Vale,
fuerte.
venga, vamos. Va.
So the players return for the start of the third and deciding game.
Final game. Level. Play.
Well, either way, history is going to be created today. Whoever wins. Either a first women's singles player to win a career Grand Slam of Super 1000 or a first ever unseeded player to win a women's singles title at a Super 500 or above.
2 love.
Do you think the start is crucial? Or do you think that when the players change ends and MARIN finishes this near side of the court, she'll have the belief, whatever the deficit, if there's a deficit?
I think she's believing all the way.
Yeah.
But I also think TAI Tzu Ying is feeling the same. You cannot go onto court and say, oh, I'm not going to win today. You have to go in with the belief, you know, whatever happens, even in the only one in the whole world believing you can do it, you have to believe that you can do it. So, but yes, I agree with you that, of course, the start of this third and final game is extremely important to both players.
Oh, dear. Yeah. That's a real missed opportunity from the left-hander.
But it is interesting to hear the celebrations from TAI Tzu Ying.
It is, isn't it?
It means a lot to her.
How much also do you think, because a number of players do the verbal celebrations when they're playing against MARIN, but they don't do it against other players, how much of it is the psychology of saying, you may have very loud verbal celebrations, I can do that too?
I think it's part of the picture, but I don't think it's part of the picture for TAI Tzu Ying.
All right. It's purely, it is celebration. Overt celebration. Good rally.
That was a loose shot there from TAI Tzu Ying.
Unbelievable. What a rally.
Oh!
Well, had that have gone over, it was a winner all the way. 32 shots.
3-0. Service over. Carolina. 4-3.
Finding a very nice ankle there from the forehand cross court.
4-0.
And I think MARIN is back into the game after a little sluggish start here in the opening of the third game. Good length by TAI Tzu Ying.
5-4. Weak foul.
This is the psychology. TAI Tzu Ying saying no. I'm going to show the umpire that I'm ready and waiting, and show my opponent I don't need a tell down.
Yeah, this return of serve from MARIN was not even close. I know it's it almost hit the tape, but it was not really there. It's out.
Yeah. But you'd expect the unforced, a few unforced errors, because we always talk about physical fitness and match fitness. And the difference with match fitness is that, you know, come the tight situations, sometimes you just, you know, you're not used to that because you haven't played for so long, and that's when you make a few errors.
Yeah, you know, when you play a lot of tournaments, you get the sharpness in your shots from being under pressure most of the time. And that's, of course, helping a lot. And when you consider this is only the second tournament that MARIN is playing then it's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
I think I'm not the only one, when I saw the result of last week, who thought, oh no. But she has proved everybody wrong here in this tournament.
Yes. Lost first round as the number 2 seed in Vietnam Super 100 event to Katatong, another left-hander, young Thai player.
And the problem for TAI Tzu Ying is getting highlighted a bit. You asked the question earlier, would MARIN benefit from longer rallies? I specifically said yes.
Yeah.
And now we see why you asked it and why I replied as what I did.
Yeah.
Because I feel that the longer the rally goes on, the chances are greater for MARIN to win them.
Yeah.
Eventually mistakes are creeping into the game of TAI Tzu Ying.
Yeah, but that was a lovely smash down the line. Pinpoint accuracy.
8-7.
Once again, it was down that backhand side of MARIN. Proved to be very effective.
Now that's the aggressive play that you were talking about earlier.
9-7.
Yeah, it's good to see TAI Tzu Ying being more proactive.
That's a great lift from there.
Saca profundo para no jugar en break. Si no haces lo que acerca, te la coge, atenta.
8-9.
Overdone it. One game on 9 or.
Oh.
And if N's got anything to do with it, I think MARIN will be very happy with the fact that she's got 9 points on that side.
Service over. 10-9.
Terrific smash.
Yeah, this is from the danger position. This is exactly the position where she did the injury in January. Exactly the same position. So it takes a lot of courage. Put it out of your mind and play the shot.
Well, it is Carolina MARIN
11-10 interval.
who has the advantage, albeit just a 1-point advantage.
观众朋友们，在上一环节，我们给大家亮出了我们的留言二维码，得到了大家的积极响应。我们在这一环节，我们来看一下我们的观众朋友们给我们发来了哪些留言呢？
points
可
away
以看到啊，
from
我们的
defending
现
her
在发出
title.
了感谢您的付出，加油！同时呢，还有朋友发出了他从
points away from becoming the first unseeded player to win a women's singles title at World Tour 500 or above. Incidentally, the last women's singles player who was unseeded to win a Super Series, because it hasn't happened obviously in the World Tour, was Raksana Kintanon. Denmark Open, Premier events, 2017.
Okay,
Number 4, she was unseeded and beat number 4 seed Akane Yamaguchi.
So she drops just outside the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a wonderful reply.
Well, she's challenging.
I can understand that.
So
I thought it was in. I thought it was a wonderful reply here from TAI Tzu Ying. What a return of serve.
Here we go. What does Hawkeye say? Says it was
Oy,
out.
oy, oy, oy.
Unsuccessful, 1 challenge remaining. 12-10. Play.
Yeah, that was courageous, and how good to keep that straight with the little reverse slice coming forward from TAI Tzu Ying.
This one there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hitting the forehand side of MARIN.
Service over. 13-11.
I feel all the momentum's with MARIN now.
She is zooming.
Yeah.
It's just all go. You can feel it, you can see it.
That's well left.
TAI Tzu Ying really have to score a few points now to level this match.
Well, she was 11-16 down in the third yesterday. And managed to come back to win. A moment ago, she was 11-14 down. Big effort to take it early in a deep forehand there.
Yes.
Because she'd really been a little bit caught. But really did make the effort, and it paid dividends.
Just proves the point that when TAI Tzu Ying is aggressive, she's standing a much better chance. And a good reply here from MARIN.
15-13. Yeah.
TAI Tzu Ying's nervous. A couple of errors, or more than a couple of errors, especially on the touch shots, which is the most difficult shots to play when you are nervous.
look at the walk of Marin. It was not in the picture, but she was almost running around like a boxer in the ring. It's tough for TAI Tzu Ying to find the answers at the moment.
Yeah, and she seems to have run out of ideas.
The thing is that she's under pressure in terms of pace, and she really is sort of uncomfortable when she's playing her shots.
3 points away, Carolina Marin, from probably the most remarkable comeback ever witnessed in our sport. Points away from her second consecutive title here in Changzhou.
19-13.
After 6 consecutive losses to TAI Tzu Ying on her comeback from a career-threatening injury, quite frankly, a major surgery. Well, Hollywood scriptwriters wouldn't have dreamt this up.
So often reality supersedes fiction.
So right.
14-19.
Is there going to be another twist in the tail, though?
15.
There's still opportunities, I see, for TAI Tzu Ying. 15-19 down, but there's still opportunities, but she's got to go for the attack.
Going out.
Ooh, it was close.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness, how did she get that back? Fabulous smash. Look at the accuracy of that.
16-19.
Amazing. 4 straight points. And now there's only 2 points in it. And it really is believable again. What a match.
17-19.
Well, MARIN is not happy with the court attendants mopping.
It's very interesting. I'm holding my breath here. Nothing more to say, just watch and enjoy.
Gone long. It's match point opportunities for Carolina Marin.
And try to notice there was no celebration.
Yeah.
20, match point 17.
She's in the zone.
What a return, my goodness.
Doesn't get better than that.
Look at that.
Sitting on top of the tape for a while.
Overdone it, and Carolina Marin has marked her return after knee surgery by retaining her title at the China Open, a Super 1000 event. She's overcome by emotion. She couldn't have dreamt of this. Quite extraordinary, and as always, TAI Tzu Ying shows great sportsmanship, embraces her opponent, smiles and says congratulations. Well, it takes two players to make a great final,
Match won by
and that was
Carolina
indeed
Marin.
a great final.
14-21, 21-17,
Hugs her coach,
21-18.
still overcome with emotion, and that's understandable. All the hours of rehab, all the pain and agony, both physical and mental, of coming back from injury. Well, it's all been worthwhile. And after the first round loss last week at the Vietnam Open, a Super 100 event, she turns up a week later here in Changzhou, unseeded, and leaves as champion once more, creating history as the first ever women's singles player who's been unseeded to win a World Tour event of Super 500 or above. It is the most remarkable story, and one that should be celebrated greatly in our sport. Confirmation of that scoreline of 14-21, 21-17, 21-17 in the deciding game. There it is, the confirmation. A match lasting an hour and 5 minutes. Well, Morten, that was extraordinary.
It was. Thank you for talking. It was really, really something. It was. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by emotions.
You are indeed, Morten.
I am.
Yes.
I think
well,
it's fantastic.
I do,
Absolutely
and
fantastic.
to be honest, I feel emotional too, because to see some of the social media posts of, you know, her refusing to be downhearted, which she must have been by the injury.
Of course.
The first week she's sitting on a chair, unable to move her leg at all, but still practicing shots. The images of her in the hydrotherapy pool, where she was trying to walk again, and as supported obviously by the water. And of course, you were talking about the backup team. She has got a wonderful backup team, and Fernando Rivas, who's back home with his family, he was in Vietnam last week. All of them need credit for this, but without a doubt, it's Carolina Marin's mental courage which has been outstanding.
Absolutely, but as I said earlier, it's also the way that, you know, we human beings, we heal in different ways. And there is no doubt that Carolina Marin has healed extremely well.
She has. but you get out of life what you put in it.
Yes.
And the phrase also from Gary Player that you were talking about, the more that you practice, the luckier you seem to get.
Yes.
There's been nothing lucky about Carolina's performance this week in Changzhou.
No, no.
She has earned every bit of this success. So to the prize presentation. I think we ought to also, before we really get underway, make a quick mention of how gracious TAI Tzu Ying is always in defeat.
Yes, and she, as you say, you can't get a final with like this without having two players that's really giving their best. And it was an awesome final, fantastic quality and great excitement.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt the Olympic gold medal will be the tournament that is most celebrated for Carolina Marin. But I think this is one that she will remember for a lifetime. I know from personal experience, my first big win after an injury was the one that I regard, even though it wasn't the biggest badminton tournament in the world, I regard as my biggest achievement.
Yes, I agree.
Carolina Marin, her first title of the year, her second here in Changzhou after winning a year ago. What a remarkable week it has been. So for TAI Tzu Ying, in her fourth final this year, she has to settle for second best for a second time after losing in the final of the All England, the first of the Super 1000 events. But for Carolina Marin, welcome back to the world stage. Yes. Hearty congratulations from everyone. Everybody realizes what a monumental achievement this is for Carolina Marin.
Let's welcome Ms. Eva Wang, Head of Marketing, HSBC China, to present the prize checks.
34,000 for the beaten finalist, 70,000 US dollars for Carolina Marin.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, let's welcome our distinguished guests to take photos with the players.
A 27th career title, but one that will be so cherished for Carolina Marin.
Congratulations and thank you.
So after the drama and excitement of the women's singles, we can look forward to our next match, which is men's singles. It's a repeat of last year's final. It's the reigning world champion, Kento Momota, against the defending champion here, Anthony Sinisuka Ginting.